Do you find yourself struggling to achieve your goals? Let's talk about how doing small, repeated actions over time can literally change your life. In the book of James Clear, published in 2018, named Atomic Habits, he explains how if you improve just 1% every day for a year, you'll be 37.78 times better by the end of that year. Let's explore how you can achieve this in your life through Clear's four-step system for building habits, using relatable allegories and personal experiences to bring these ideas to life. 1. The power of tiny changes. A lesson from the ice cube. Clear opens his book with a compelling allegory about an ice cube. Imagine you're in a freezing room and the temperature is rising degree by degree, 29, 30, 31 degrees. Still, the ice cube doesn't melt. Then the moment the room hits 32 degrees, it starts to melt. That's the tipping point, the breakthrough. This story reminds us that progress often feels invisible at first. Small changes can seem insignificant, but they're building up to something bigger. I used to struggle with fitness. I'd join a gym, lift heavy weights without a plan, and push myself to do as many push-ups and pull-ups as my motivation allowed that day, only to burn out and quit soon after. One day, I decided to take a different approach. Instead of overwhelming myself, I started small, just 10 push-ups and 10 pull-ups a day. It felt almost insignificant at first, but it was sustainable. A week later, I increased it to 15, then 20. Before I knew it, those small, consistent efforts added up. Within a few months, I was doing full workouts and feeling stronger than ever. The ice cube had finally melted, not because of a sudden burst of effort, but because of gradual, persistent progress. 2. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Clear compares habits to compound interest. Just as small deposits grow exponentially over time, small daily actions compound into significant results. However, the reverse is also true. Bad habits compound, leading to negative outcomes. Think of habits like planting seeds in a garden. Every positive habit is a flower seed, and every negative habit is a weed. If you water the flowers consistently, they'll grow into something beautiful. But if you neglect your garden, or worse, feed the weeds, they'll take over. A few years ago, I wanted to read more but always felt too busy. I started by reading just one page a day. Yes, one page. That felt manageable, even on the busiest days. Over time, one page turned into two, then a chapter, then entire books. Now, reading is a natural part of my daily routine, and I've finished more books than I ever thought possible. 3. The 4 laws of behavior change. James Clear outlines 4 laws to create good habits and break bad ones. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. Let's break these down. Make it obvious to build a habit, it needs to fit seamlessly into your environment. If you want to eat healthier, put fruit on the counter instead of junk food. If you want to work out, lay your gym clothes out the night before. Make it attractive. We're more likely to stick to habits that we find enjoyable. Pair a habit with something you love. For example, listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. Or take your laptop or notebook to a cafe, park, or any beautiful place while working on creative projects. A change in environment can make the habit more exciting and inspiring. C. Make it easy. Start small. Reduce the friction between you and the habit. If you want to write a book, don't aim for 1,000 words a day right away. Start with one paragraph. Think of a boulder at the top of a hill. To get it rolling, you just need a little push, not a full shove. Once it's in motion, momentum takes over. D. Make it satisfying. Our brains are wired to seek rewards. Celebrate small wins, whether it's a check mark on a to-do list or a small treat after completing a task. When I started tracking my habits, I used a simple calendar. Every day I completed a habit, I'd mark an X. Watching the chain of X's grow became incredibly satisfying, and I didn't want to break the streak. 4. The identity shift. Becoming the person you want to be. One of the most powerful ideas in Atomic Habits is the concept of identity-based habits. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, focus on who you want to become. For example, instead of wanting to be in a great relationship, focus on becoming the kind of person who attracts and nurtures great relationships. Work on your communication skills, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. When you become the best version of yourself, the right relationships will come naturally. Imagine you're casting votes in an election. Every time you act in line with your desired identity, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. One vote won't decide the election, but over time, the majority of votes will define the outcome. When I started writing, I didn't think of myself as a writer, but every time I sat down to write, I was casting a vote for that identity. Eventually, I stopped saying, I want to write, and started saying, I am a writer. That mindset shift made all the difference. Final thoughts. The 1% rule in action. Becoming 37.78 times better at anything might sound like a lofty goal, but it's achievable through small, consistent actions. Remember, you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Focus on being 1% better every day. Here's the bottom line. Success isn't about motivation or willpower, it's about systems. Build a system of good habits and success becomes inevitable. Ask yourself, what small action can you take today to move closer to the person you want to become? Whether it's reading a page, writing a sentence, or taking a 5-minute walk, just start. Over time, the results will amaze you. And always remember, you're not just building habits, you're building a better version of yourself. Keep going. You've got this.